So I'm going to tell about my first time buying weed. Now, I had smoked weed before, but that was with my cousin who lived in another city, so I didn't have to worry about getting weed because he usually bought it or had it whenever I was over at his house. But now I was on my own, and I had to get it somehow. And it was just me and my friend on this particular day, and we were in 8th grade. So on this day, we decided to ditch school and go get high, and it was going to be my first time getting high in my city and with someone else who wasn't my cousin. We only planned to buy a gram or a 10 sack or whatever you want to call it, and it's usually $10. So we ditched school, and after we ditched school, we were thinking and we asked each other, where the fuck do we get weed? And we should have planned this out a day before, but we didn't. So my friend suggested to go to his old street, which he used to live on, no doubt. It was a street called 19th Street, and he suggested we go in there and try to find some people. And it was right next to the school. And this street was really bad. Like, people had gotten shot there, jumped and beat up and shit like that. So I was having second thoughts about it. And I tried to talk to my friend and ask him where else could we get weed. And turns out there were no other options, but we had to go into 19th Street. And he was the one who knew where to get weed and shit. And 19th Street turned out to be our only option at the time. Now, he felt pretty comfortable going in there because he used to live there, but I didn't know the place, so it was pretty risky. So as we're walking up the street, there's like trash everywhere, and the road and sidewalks are fucked up. And it was the morning time, and there was school going on, so there wasn't that many people outside. So we keep walking until we reach a little bit of the end of the street, and we finally saw some people. And we saw these two guys outside this house inside a car in the driveway, and they just seemed like they were just chilling there, and they looked completely thuggish. They both were wearing baggy clothing and shit. One of them had long hair, the other one had short hair. So they noticed us as we were walking, and one guy, the guy with short hair, hops out of the car, pulls up his saggy pants and just starts looking around. And this guy looks suspicious, and the guy with long hair just stays in the car and he's just chilling there. So we approach them, and the guy with long hair looks at us and he says, "What do you need?" And then my friend's like, "Hey, do you guys have..." And then my friend did the hand motion as if, he was smoking a joint or something. And then the guy in the car with long hair asked, "How much do you need?" And my friend replies with, "Just a gram." So then the guy calls us over there with his hand, and my friend tells me to go over there, and I go over there, and my friend stays back because I was the one that had the money. And then the guy puts his hand out of the car, and we exchange it quickly through there, and I just grab the weed out of the hand, and he just grabs the money out of my hand. And then he's like, "All right, you guys be good, okay?" And I was like, "Thank you." And I don't know why. Every time, like, I bought weed off people, I've always said, like, "Thank you." Like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, "Oh, thanks, dude." I don't know if the other people were, like, thinking, like, "You're not supposed to say that. It's supposed to be secret." But I've always said thank you. I don't know if that's, like, a rule of the streets or something, but I've always said thank you. And my friend doesn't say anything, so then I walk back to my friend, and we turn around and we just walk away. And that was it. And after walking away, I just remember feeling so cool because it was my first time buying weed, and we just bought it from some thugs in the hood. And I remember telling my friend how I felt really cool and shit like that. I mean, I was in 8th grade. It was my first time buying weed. And he was telling me, like, "Oh, see, it's that easy buying weed." But yeah, anything could have easily went bad and went the other direction because when we were approaching these guys, they were mean looking us and eyeing us so hard. But thankfully, it didn't, and everything went well. And after that, we just enjoyed the rest of our day, and getting the pipe was another task that I will tell about. And getting high on this day was one of the most greatest experiences, and I'll be sure to tell about that too. But this day was one of my best days in my weed smoking adventures. So, yeah, that was my first time buying weed. Could have gotten shot, could have gotten beat up, could have gotten whatever. But everything went smoothly, thankfully, and it was all good in the hood on that day. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this story, and stay tuned for more if you want to hear about what happened the rest of that day. Peace out.